how was the competition?
Tough. My legs hurt. I can barely stand. Extremely long day, but glad I done it.
And beforehand, prep-wise, how has that been?
In short, hard. Extremely hard. I think this time I kind of pushed the limits a little bit, dig deeper with the cardio, less breaks, no cheat meals. It was hardest I've done.
Out of all of that, what would you say is the hardest thing that you've been like, oh God?
The cardio.
Really?
Hour and a half on that stair climber isn't fun.
Now you know what all the ladies go through. Because I think I saw on an Instagram post, you're like, oh, I don't know how you guys do this.
Yeah, no. I don't want to do it again. That's how bad it is. Like, honestly. If I can find another way to get to this condition, it won't be the stair climber. I'll tell you that much.
And what was it that got you into competing in the first place?
I've always been in shape. It's more of a case of needing something to kind of focus on. I'm kind of a driven person. If I don't have a reason to focus on something, I find myself at a loose end. So competing was like the next drive. I used to play football. When I stopped doing that, it was kind of like I need to find something that gives me the motivation, and getting on stage is what it is.
And why Pure Elite?
I think they're extremely inclusive. I've competed with other federations before, and this feels more like a family. And I don't think you have to come first before you're noticed. In fact, I come third a number of times and I was still recognised. And I think that in itself is credit, because with other federations, if you don't come first, no one don't notice you. And, you know, and prep's hard, and you don't want to go through all of that pain, all that suffering to not even get a pat on the back. And Pure Elite did that, and that's why it's Pure Elite for me.
And what is it that you enjoy the most about competing?
That's actually a very difficult question, because while I'm doing the prep, it's definitely not prep. But then after it, it's probably after the whole process, and you can look back and kind of realise how tough you've been. Especially this prep was extremely difficult, like really tough. But I'm looking back now going, you know what? I got through it, and I'm tougher than I thought. I can't see myself beating that again, but each year I say the same thing. I don't think I can beat it, and I do. So I just keep leveling up.
What are the plans sort of going forward? Or obviously depending on how
depends
today
on the
goes.
Results, I'll tell you that much. If I'm not happy with the results, it's go again.
And if you are happy with the results,
then I'll still improve, but I won't rush back as quick. Maybe give myself a year to kind of get bigger and develop weaker areas depending on the judges' feedback, and then kind of go from there. So it really does depend on what I'm told. You can look in the mirror every day and you won't really analyse yourself the way somebody else would. So once I get the feedback, I kind of base my actions on that.
And obviously as a family man, how has the family found prep? This being obviously the hardest one that you said you've done.
Yeah. They didn't enjoy me. Let's put it that way. In fact, I was grumpier than I realised, and it's probably one of the things that I discovered after. So, like, whilst I was on prep, I didn't realise how grumpy I was. And then now it's over, I kind of sit back and kind of go, ooh, I moaned about stuff that on a normal day I'd kind of be like, yeah, have that, go into the cupboards, take the biscuits, I don't mind. But this time I'm like, don't touch the biscuits, they're mine. So, yeah, that kind of thing.
What are you looking forward to food-wise after the show?
The pizza, like now.
Any pizza, anything?
Anything greasy. Loads of cheese. As long as it's barbecue based, we're good.
We know where to find you then.
Exactly.
And for anyone that's thinking of competing, any newbies, what would you sort of advice would you like to have known back then?
Don't try to do everything on your own. I think getting an outside perspective is huge. I'm a fitness professional myself. I'm a personal trainer. I coach people. But when someone else is looking at what you do, it takes the stress away. You don't have to analyse. You just kind of get told what to do, and you can just trust the process and get it done. I think a lot of the times when you do it yourself and you use your own knowledge, you second guess every movement that you make rather than trusting the process. So if you can take your own conscious out of the process, it's so much easier to manage. But you've got to be in it to win it. So you've almost got to jump in. A lot of the times I hear people say, yeah, I want to compete, but the answer is next year. Book a show, because that'll force you to go through the process rather than delaying it.
What I'd like you to do is, obviously we've got the results to come shortly. If you could pop back, let us know how you've done, if you're willing to. And for anyone that doesn't know you or hasn't followed you or is new to sort of the videos and things, what are your social handles where people can follow you online?
My Instagram is IamTeamRaw_fitness, and that's the same for Facebook as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much and good luck, and make sure you come back.